Singles, mingle, flirting sequence, emotional connection, and keeping the sexual tension good. I want her to say, I relate to you differently than I do with the others. I feel at one with you. If she's chasing you, play with the concept of hard to get. If she gets you immediately, where's the fun in that? Where's the tension? Like a good movie or story, let it develop. No rush, no urgency. Enjoy the entire process. Create this bond with her. She craves that feeling. She's a treasure. She's cherished, but not on a pedestal. Sit with that. There's a difference. No one's better or worse than me. Even if I do not put her on a pedestal, I can cherish her. One mission you can work on is reminding yourself that no one is better or worse than me. No one is better or worse than me. No one is worse than me. No one's better than me. All comparisons are false. We're all worthwhile. Repeat that over and over until your gut recognizes the truth. Just because I cherish someone doesn't mean that they're better than me. The concept of some people as better than, that needs to be revised in your mind. Take that out. Take a good look at it. Get rid of it. Change it. Challenge it. Stop believing things that are not true. So as soon as you get rid of that, look at what happens to your flirting. In flirting, you consistently manage the tension if you're successful. The friend zone has zero sexual tension. Think about that in terms of flirting. Zero sexual tension if you're in the friend zone. Yeah, it feels good because there's no tension. It's calm and all that, and that's good for the relationship. But for early dating, if you already know what's going to happen, you're in the friend zone. That's fine if you want that. She knows how the story ends, though. It does feel good to have friends. Those are wonderful for the nervous system. The brain doesn't have to think or scan the environment for a threat or fear of missing out, and we do need that. But that's one of the games in flirting that people tend to appreciate. I don't play games. Every human being plays games. Yes, you play games. You like games. Stop lying to yourself. We like the games. There's something about the games that's compelling. Just like we like to get scared in a good horror show or a movie or a mystery. We like that feeling, but not too much. You don't want to get too scared, so you get to draw the line there. A romantic relationship has parts of that, and parts that are afraid of missing out, afraid of losing the other person, especially if you value them. Don't even get me started about attachment issues and emotions during flirting and the push-pull dynamic. Don't get me started about borderline personality disorder or how games can be really dysfunctional. There's a way to do this that's dysfunctional. There's also a pleasurable way, much like the structure of a good novel. The novel takes time to get there. There's no rush in the novel. They take their sweet time, enjoy the process, build the tension, relieve the tension, take you to the edge, come back. They tease the reader, and the reader enjoys the tease when it's well done. They know they're playing a game. The game is enjoyable and predictable. They spent money for that book, for that process. It's the same for flirting, when done well. There's usually a pursuer-distancer dynamic in romantic relationships. Not always, but it's common. Cut her off or pull away, and she keeps thinking about you. Leave her wanting more? She maintains her optimal distance. You maintain your optimal distance. Who pursues? Who distances? Who moves first? Who responds? If you've been pacing well, she's responsive to your lead. I had to do this in an acting class. We were miming something. One person had to lead and the other person had to follow. As the person who's leading, you have to really slow down and make sure that the person can follow you, especially when there's a pivot or a transition. So if you're pacing well, she'll follow you. Imagine leading her, and then you slightly change the speed so she has to stay on her toes, pay attention. The unpredictable is more fun and attractive, and she's thinking, I've never met someone like you. Just make sure that's a good thing. Spontaneous is hot. Impulsive is not. Healthy is attractive. Surprise her, but in a good way. What's next is what you want her thinking. She's wondering, which move are you going to make now? So again, not to the point of getting her anxious or playing with her head, right? Know when to pivot. And don't keep doing it over and over until she's bored. Not too much change, not too little change. It takes practice, just like a musical instrument or a sport. So practice this. Go for a full week. Do this with people. Notice who likes it, who doesn't like it. How long until somebody gets bored or annoyed? Hone your skill, practice it, get the feedback, just like you do in sports or being a storyteller, a novelist, or playing an instrument. Think about this. Your favorite author is going to put out a new book. They tell you, hey, it's coming this month. Because you have associated good feelings with them, you like the book before you've even read it. You're anticipating it. You're paying money ahead of time before even seeing it. You know it's going to be a good time. You forever associate this interest with me at an emotional level. That's what we're doing in dating. I want her to know that if I'm sending a text or an email or calling or getting together, she can look forward to it. All right, so what does the practice look like? Change the speed, the inflection, the pace with different people. Try the push-pull. See what your anxiety is like and see where the threshold is for you between bad games and fun. Tell your stories, hone your stories, and practice the idea and the repetition of I'm not better or worse than anyone. I've played with this in different ways. Check this out. It's going to sound a little silly, but check it out. See that guy over there? He's better than me because his socks are cool. Try on stupid ideas like that, and notice how your thoughts can be ludicrous, and yet you might still believe them. Point out the absurdity in your own thinking until those thoughts are challenged. Hey, you know why I'm better than you? My hair is shorter. Yep. You know what else? I clip my toenails really well. My elbows, they used to be like crusty and hard and all that kind of stuff, but I put lotions on my elbows. That's why I'm better than you. Women love that. Yeah, feel free to laugh. It's silly. We have these ludicrous ideas floating around in our head as if one human being can be better than another human being. That's ridiculous. That's just not possible. Okay, on what basis am I better than other people? Go through an entire day and look for how you're better than everyone you meet. It's going to be silly. Have some fun with it. Do the same for how you're worse. That doesn't feel good. But it sounds ridiculous and reinforces that it's silliness. It's all just a preference. I am not better or worse than anyone. Yeah, there's parts of me that are better at times, parts that are worse. Like, I might be really good at spelling. Or my vocabulary might be larger than yours or smaller than yours. I can't dance well. I got no sense of rhythm. Oh my gosh. And getting lost, I have no sense of direction. And moving stuff, I can move stuff. But getting things through doorways, not my best trait. So you're probably better at some of those things than I am. And I'm probably better at some of those things than you are. And are those really the basis for determining who is better than whom? Is that even a question? Your brain will figure out that this is silliness and will stop making comparisons. All comparisons are false because we lack context. We cannot see the big picture, so we can't see it clearly. Besides, we distort what we hear, what we see, and we respond based on these distortions. How's that working for us? All right, so that's the theory in a nutshell. Knowing theory is important, just not enough to get it done. You need to practice the theory. Again, like a musical instrument, dance, cooking, sports. In order to achieve mastery, you need to practice it correctly a bunch of times. Every time you practice it, you see yourself practicing it correctly. That's a process visualization. The goal visualization is at the end, you see yourself succeeding. If I don't have enough time to do both, I go with the goal visualization. I see myself winning or implementing the skill. I see it going my way. So I usually start my visualizations with how I'm dressed and my feeling. Right? So how do I look? What's the weather like? How am I dressed? I like how I'm dressed. I feel confident in this outfit. And yet my confidence is not dependent on outside forces. You determine how confident you feel. That's yours, always, always true. If you don't think that's true, you are going into victim mentality. Don't do that. That's really unattractive. Nothing from the outside has to affect you, unless you want it to affect you. So you smell good, you look good, the conversation's going well. Picture yourself doing the skill at a level of excellence. You're getting the results that you want. See that right there? That's a visualization. We just did it. You picture it and you feel the feelings. Your brain has no idea whether that happened in reality or just inside the brain. It records it as real, so your confidence gets a tiny boost because you got a rep in. If you want to improve on this and maximize this, picture it in your head over and over. Get a lot of reps in. Make certain that you feel the feelings each rep. Make sure it's in color, high definition, it's a good quality, good surround sound, and your confidence is high. Always put your confidence high because especially in dating, that's important. Your posture is good, your humor is good, your voice is just slow enough. Good, perfect, you're in flow. When you do the visualization, your confidence goes higher. When your confidence is higher, you're more likely to initiate and you lean into the fun, the playfulness, which is really what flirting is about. More reps is better. I would stop at like 100 and see how it works out for you, but 5 or 10, that's a good start. If you think that's enough, you're probably wrong, but you can try with 5 or 10 and you can always add more. Now imagine you got 100 reps and then you do it in reality. How confident are you going to be? 100 reps, you're probably pretty confident. You know what you're doing. Your confidence isn't contingent on their approval or acceptance. You get to judge you, they don't. Confidence is not dependent on anything outside you. And I don't always get the outcome that I thought I would get, whether it's a sport or an instrument. I'm not perfect. I'm not in full control. But it doesn't have to affect my confidence either. I rehearse it. I master it. I move towards excellent. It's worth the practice. And besides, practice feels good. Let's change the culture of dating. Could you imagine if we were all just better at it? Eliminate guesswork and mind reading, play by the same rules. Yeah, let's change the culture of dating. So if you like it, please hit like and subscribe. It helps me spread this message. And if you want more resources, check out my website. It's boyscounseling.com.